Bitcoin is now under not only regulatory attack, but it's also under propaganda attack. And the item that we talked about just recently, that it's become, a sanctum sanctorum for dark money, for drug dealers, for terrorist money. That is they're trying to tar this industry because of the hostility to personal freedom and to a competitive currency that you can't just turn on the paper printers, which they can do now. And this is a very threat. This is a huge threat to the economic model of the big bankers and the people who are using the Fed to shift wealth upward. The biggest threat to them and the biggest threat to is our personal freedoms and the advent of Bitcoin as alternative for Americans.
And there you see President candidate Robert F. Kennedy sitting there talking about the biggest topic that is on the 2024 presidential ballot in the Bitcoin Bros opinion. And what this is personal freedom. This is what Bitcoin stands for. This is what Bitcoin is. He knows that, the elite know that. And that's why they're trying to have this price driven up before Bitcoin becomes out of reach and you're not able to accumulate that one whole Bitcoin. What do you think is going to happen when the spot ETFs are passed and billions of dollars get gobbled up and there's only such amount of supply that is made every single day? Every 4 years that gets cut in half. Bitcoin's freedom. If you don't get it, you don't get it. If you do, you do. And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you. Another cryptocurrency video. We have a jam-packed video, so I'm not going to waste any time getting straight into it. Looking at Bitcoin versus AVEX. What we're looking at is this as basically the altcoin market. And as you see, there's a major level of support / resistance you got to pay attention to. And this is around that 0.00065 level. And we've bounced off of it once as support, and then we fell through it, came back and hit our head down on that 20 moving average. And guess what? Since then, we bottomed out and then blasted off. AVEX on the RSI and the price action blasted off. Well, look, this blast off cooled off a little bit. Why? Because we ran into macro support. So we blasted through this downwards resistance. Are we going to come back down and have this retest? And this is sort of the trend of altcoins. You've seen a lot of altcoins running up the past few weeks. Are we going to have a cool off going into the new year and then a blast off and a continuation to the upside? That definitely could be what's in the cards. You want to be patient. Another update from I Am Crypto Wolf. ETH is on the verge of mirroring the 2021 bull run. Well, look here. You see what happens in the 2021 bull run. ETH bounces through this wedge pattern and then falls down. But as you see, this is an inverted chart. So you see here, so this is when ETH topped out. And look what happened. It's another small inversion, and we could be on the verge of seeing another run down to the downside / upside. This is inverted once again. From an update from Trader J, what's next for Bitcoin? We've showed you this in charts as well, and this could be a macro level of resistance that we need to come back down and flip resistance to support. Now, is this flip going to be back down to the $24,000 threshold? We've talked about the 30K threshold. So are we going to have a cool off before continuation happens to the upside? This is what you have to be aware of. You've seen a lot of alts ripping. You don't want to rip and then get dumped on. Be patient. Bitcoin's going to have a pullback because we've showed you that we're very, very far extended from that 20 moving average. Now, Bitcoin could continue up to the upside to that $45,000 to $50,000 range before seeing this. But either way, it's going to come. Just be patient. This is still the first quarter of the bull run. You missed a little bit, but there's still more to come. 2024 and 2025 is going to be even more bullish. Another update from CryptoCon. Last cycle, Bitcoin was bearish. Not really. Look at the data. Even with the fall to 25K, Bitcoin stayed in a bull market for 2023. Everything about this cycle is much more like cycle 2, 2015 to 18. Right here, this was a major run up. Bitcoin went from hundreds of dollars to $20,000. And if you look here, this fractal pattern looks very similar from 2016 to 17 from where we currently are. We're just trading in between this bull market midline and the top line. So are we going to see a continuation to the upside sooner rather than later? This definitely looks like it's getting very bullish. You don't want to be sitting on the sidelines too much longer. Another update. This is major breaking news. Pro-Bitcoin Argentinian president candidate Javier Milei, now I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, he just won the presidential election and he's been on record talking about bringing Bitcoin adoption to Argentina. What this looks like, this is another nation state that could potentially be adopting the Bitcoin standard. You know, we already have El Salvador. Now is Argentina the next in line. Definitely a Bitcoin bull. If you want to check out the latest from him, you can check him out at J Milei. Once again, forgive me for my mispronunciation of the name if I'm saying that right. Yeah. You're seeing them play games like this. He's playing, you know, piñata with a central bank piñata, you know, so this is just what's going on. They know what's going on in Argentina, and this could be the next wave for Bitcoin adoption. Is this going to be a catalyst for more nation states to adopt Bitcoin? As you see, this is a presidential candidate about to tear down the central bank for a nation state, an entire country. This is definitely bullish. And Jim Cramer just tweeted that Argentina will never adopt a Bitcoin standard. Well, this is a day ago. Inverse Cramer is in full effect still. The inverse Cramer, if you don't know, anytime Jim Cramer says something, think the complete opposite. So they will adopt the Bitcoin standard. It's coming in due time. And another update, just some more charts from Income Sharks. If you could only observe 3 months in crypto, it would be October, December, and April. If he had to guess, he would predict a boring December that marks a local top, sell-off for tax season, altcoins rally, and the fun resumes in April of 2024 going to the elections. Right here, a sell-off, because as you see, we have this macro support we fell through. We've hit our head on this, and are we going to have a cool-off? Is Bitcoin going to pull alts down, or are we going to have a continuation up to this level up here, the $48,000 threshold? Either way it could play out. Bitcoin bros think that we're going to see more upside action before we see a pullback. And then we'll have a cool off once we hit more to the $40,000 to $50,000 threshold. El Crypto Prof is weighing in as well, comparing the 2015, 16, 17 cycle to where we are right now. Look, this extending wedge pattern. We hit our head once, twice. The third time was a charm before we broke through, flipped resistance to support, and then had a continuation to the upside. We already hit our head once, twice. Third time's the charm. We haven't broke through this resistance level yet. And are we going to have a breakout? A top out, then a cool off, flip resistance to support before continuation. That seems like it could be lining up almost perfectly. Look at the moving averages. You got to pay attention to this. History doesn't exactly repeat, but it definitely rhymes. And we'll leave you with this from TA Analyst. Bitcoin bull run begins. What he's saying is cycles are getting faster and faster, meaning that from peak to peak, it's getting shorter and shorter. Right now, he's calling for a peak sometime in the middle of 2024. Are we going to see it get that bullish? Zoom into this price action. How high will this go? Close to 200,000 per TA Analyst. What do you think? Do you think we're going to see a blow off top this quick? It could be coming around the corner, so you want to be prepared, most definitely. I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content? Go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. That's all I have for you today, and I'm out.